A 41-year-old man in China's eastern province of Jiangsu has just been confirmed to be the first human case of a new bird flu. This rare strain of bird flu has been identified as H10N3 as per the Beijing National Health Commission. I'm going to get into all the details as to what this means in just a moment, but first, if you can do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we would really appreciate it. Now with that out of the way, let's begin. Now the good thing is that they caught this early, when you can grab what's possibly the first human transmission of this rare bird flu. In fact, the man who was a resident of the city of Zhejiang was actually hospitalized back on April 28th. He was then diagnosed with H10N3 a month later. As per the report, the man had developed a fever that progressed over the following days, and that's when he decided to go in for treatment. Although it still took them a month to really figure out what this was. This rare bird flu strain normally causes mild disease in birds, and until now, no cases of the viral infection had been reported in humans. What's worrisome is that just because it only causes mild symptoms to birds doesn't mean that it will be as kind to humans. In China, many different strains of bird flu are present, but usually will only infect people that work directly with poultry. Again, until this case, there had been really no indication though that H10N3 could spread easily to humans. Aside from identifying that a man was infected with this bird flu, the Health Commission neglected to give details on how he was infected in the first place. His condition now has been reported as stable and he will be discharged soon. Plus, an investigation and testing of his close contacts found no other cases. So that is a good sign at least, and really responsible on their part to go and test the people that he could have possibly spread this to. Again though, nothing is ever perfect. I mean, I hope that they were thorough with this one, but who knows? Right now we're currently in a pandemic, so... Luckily, H10N3 is low pathogenic, so that essentially means that it is less likely to cause some massive outbreak like COVID did. The World Health Organization also commented on this human infection of the bird flu and said, "The source of the patient's exposure to the H10N3 virus is not known at this time, and no other cases were found in emergency surveillance among the local population. At this time, there is no indication of human-to-human transmission." Adding, "As long as avian influenza viruses circulate in poultry, sporadic infection of avian influenza in humans is not surprising, which is a vivid reminder that the threat of an influenza pandemic is persistent." The regional laboratory coordinator of the Food and Agriculture Office for Asia and the Pacific also mentioned that this strain is not a very common virus. He also added, "Only around 160 isolates of the virus were reported in the 40 years to 2018, mostly in wild birds or waterfowl in Asia and some limited parts of North America, and none had been detected in chickens so far." In recent years, there has really been no significant numbers of human infections with the bird flu since the H7N9 strain. That infection ended up taking the lives of around 300 people from 2016 to 2017. Again, I just want to reiterate though that this is actually good news. The faster we can detect new strains of the bird flu, the easier they will be to contain. That way we do not have to repeat the H7N9 strain. With growing surveillance of avian influenza in the human population, health authorities are picking up on these transmissions much faster than ever before. Now, the important thing will be for scientists to study the genetic sequence of this virus that infected the patient in the first place. That way they'll be able to tell for sure how easily this can infect human cells to determine the risk that it poses. The other thing scientists will need to determine when looking at this genetic sequence though is how easily it can mutate to become a bigger threat. For example, the H5N1 strain only needed a few mutations before it became easily spread from person to person. It first infected people in 1997 and has been the most deadly, resulting in a loss of 455 people globally. So while this new bird flu strain should raise the alarm, it's also not something you should be losing sleep over right now. If anything progresses further or if any more info gets released regarding this, we will be sure to let you know. With that though, let's check out some of your comments from the video titled "Johnny Depp Exposes Amber Heard Emails." Blue Reeve says, "Isn't it ironic that it only became a problem when the tables turned on her, yet she had no issues tearing Depp down? Karma, anyone?" Yeah, that certainly is karma tea served up hot piping tea. That she all of a sudden is like claiming emotional distress when the tables have been turned. Wild. Retro Bunny X says, "I'm not surprised at this point. I always knew there was something weird about Amber." Yeah, these emails are certainly exposing some weird things. Alec B says, "Honestly, it has been months since all the bad stuff she did came out. Surprised some people believe her when her own team left her." Yeah, I noticed the switch up in lawyers there too when I was mentioning the two different quotes. That's all I'm saying. Mindy says, "Heard needs to leave Johnny alone. He is an amazing person who deserves the best in life." I mean, he certainly has his fans who are angry at Amber Heard for what they have done to his career, and you know, I just want the truth to come out, in all reality, and I think it is slowly coming out. Alyssa says, "Oh God, could you imagine if Big Tech got a hold of slapping people through the internet technology? We'd all be goners. I mean, seriously, imagine what jump scares in games would become." Oh my goodness, you make a very valid point. Imagine a head coming through this Nope, we're good. We're good. I'm good on that. Either way, guys, that has been today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube.